Civic Math Part 2: The Mathematics of Leadership. What was at risk? In Part 1, we saw that a small town made of decisions that help change history. But decisions don't make themselves, people do. And the real question is not just who these leaders were, it's this: what did they have to lose? Let's do the math. Power is equal to influence times risk. Of the leaders that were critical in the Halifax results were Cornelius Harnett. His wealth was moderate to high. His status was elite, and his role was a local political leader. He was part of the colonial elite, a landowner, a trusted voice. When he spoke, people listened. What did he risk? What did he have to risk when this process didn't work? Loss of property, loss of status, possibly execution. The second person we are going to talk about is going to be Joseph Hewes. His wealth, he was a merchant class. He was a merchant. His role was a Congress delegate. And his network was intercontinental. He was a business person. His world extended beyond North Carolina. Trade depended on stability. What did he have to risk? Trade collapse, financial ruin, political exposure. And the third person influential in this whole process was Samuel Johnston. His wealth was high. His role, he was a political strategist, political strategist. And his focus, main focus, was on stability. He understood systems. He understood consequences. His risk was collapse of order, loss of governance, long-term instability. So Harnett, if we recap, was local trust. Hewes was economic network, and Johnston was about system stability. Of all these three gentlemen, who was the most influential? Harnett. Cornelius Harnett at Halifax in that moment, he was the most influential. He was the closest to the decision, trusted locally, direct influence on action. Influence depends on proximity. Influence is contextual. Different roles, different impact. Independence was not created by one man. It was created by a system. Different people carried different risks. In part one, we saw a small town make a massive decision. Now we see the people behind it. They had everything to lose. Ideas spreading, population divided, war ongoing. The question is not just who led, but what kind of world they stepped into. Let's go to the next step or to the next part. But before we get there, let's see how the 13 colonies were. In New England, Massachusetts has 235,000 people, Connecticut 200,000, New Hampshire 85,000, Rhode Island 60,000, for a total of 580,000. The middle colonies, Pennsylvania 300,000, New York 200,000, New Jersey 140,000, Delaware 35,000, for a total of 675,000 people. The southern colonies, Virginia 450,000, Maryland 200,000, North Carolina 200,000, South Carolina 180,000, and Georgia 35,000, for a total of 1,065,000 people. This is the estimate based on what experts agreed on. The total population at that time, in 1776, was 2,500,000 people, of which 2,100,000 people were free and 500,000 were enslaved. If we were to do the math the way we presented it with the accurate numbers, or the numbers that we hope that were accurate. So for New England, we had a population of 580,000. For the middle colonies, we have about 675,000. And for the southern colonies, we had about 1,065,000 people. The total for this is going to be 2,320,000. Now let's not forget that the estimated and the accepted number of the colonial population at the time was 2,500,000. So where does this discrepancy come from? Let's say just for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, we listed 300,000. More likely, this was over 300,000 or 310,000. For Virginia, we listed 450,000. More likely, this number was around 500,000. And for North Carolina, we listed 200,000. More likely, this was about 220,000 people. When you round each colony, small differences add up. 10,000 here, 20,000 there. So for 13 colonies, the difference is big. Small rounding errors across many groups create large total differences. Historians don't have a perfect 1776 census. They use tax records, militia counts, church registries, land surveys. Each method produces slightly different totals. We are not working with exact counts. We are working with historical estimates. Growth rate of the colonial population at the time was 2.3% per year. So from 2 million and 320,000 people, we can easily go anywhere from 2.5 million to 2.7 million easily of the US population. Even a single year can change the numbers significantly. Western areas, specifically North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and others, often undercounted. The further from city you go, the less accurate the count becomes. Rounding plus estimate plus undercount is equal to big gap. This is important. Even our understanding of the population is an estimate. Data is not exact. Data is rather a model. And decisions in 1776 were made with imperfect data, just like today. The American Revolution wasn't just a political risk, it was a decision made with incomplete information. The difference between 2 million and 2,320,000 people and 2.5 million is not an error. It is a reminder that history is built on estimate. Thank you for watching. This is Scitame Learning. See you next time.